Hello there folks, welcome back to my channel. Ferenc on board here with another video, this time bleeding wisdom on a topic called thank you. Okay, I usually take into account game development, well, that's the least, but game design and introspection, deeper introspection, uh, dream interpretation, other topics similar to this, spirituality as well. But I just thought about creating a very quick video about the usage of thank you, because I've been seeing as of nowadays, and well, it's been for a while, people always speak about gratitude, but I don't know whether people fully understand the extent of what gratitude means, because in many situations people end up doing gratitude or so-called gratitude as a habit. Okay, now thank you as an expression is one of the strongest expressions in the world. It is very empowering because you admit that something in your life is also due to the help of others. Okay, your well-being in your life is due to others. Okay, so you're sending some people a part of your energy as a thanks. Okay, because your words are spells, right? When you say thank you, okay, you are giving them energy of gratitude, which also makes people somewhat better. Still, many people live in a lower state of vibration because they simply exist in a very low self-esteem. The problem about this, well, the problem with low self-esteem is that people will tend to be people pleasers. So many will say or do certain things just because they kind of become a bit dependent, or they expect this so-called thank you. Okay, and I can say that I've been through this. I'm still slightly affected by it. Thanks. It's apparently coming to me on the line of my grandmother, and well, it's something that I have to deal with and purge, because one reason why we are here is to purge different things, but in order to do that we need to become very aware. Now, I know that I'm capable of seeing certain subtleties. I'm not saying that I'm the most capable, but at least you can rest assured that you will hear the points of view of someone who's not interested in imposing them on you. Now, the problem about this thank you is that people simply attribute this thank you at times. Okay, now this is a bad cliche that I still use, unfortunately, or well, it's still a lesson that I have to learn for a certain reason. And the point about this is there is no problem. Okay, you might hear me saying the problem is, but I need to actually find another expression to simply introduce a certain idea. Okay, so the point about thank you is that when people use it, okay, they also use it to thank specifically something. Okay, now the point about thank you is it should better be used as thanks. Okay, because when there is nothing that you can specifically thank, okay, because thank you is like a spell. Okay, and spells must be targeted. Now, I'm not speaking about specific video game mechanics, but when you speak to someone, okay, you speak to someone specifically, be it an audience, be it one single person, and when you thank them, again, you thank someone specifically. When you say thank you God, it's something kind of not specifically, because God is just a creation you've made in your mind, and you're so sure it exists just because you have taken on this programming that your parents have been through. Now, of course, I'm not denying creation, okay, but creation is completely different from God. Okay, God is an aspect that humans long ago created because they weren't capable of understanding a certain thing. And as awareness grows, people recognized that they haven't created all this that they see around, right? Just like you see at a child. When a child looks around, they're so confused. There's technically so much creation, right? And when they look around, probably one of their first curiosities is who actually made that, you know? And one reason why children exist on the mentality that their parents are gods is because technically whatever is bigger than you is definitely like a kind of a god, right? The child functions with a mentality that their parents are gods. in a way, okay, like not necessarily gods, okay, but they are much greater, much better, much wiser, even if in some cases it might not necessarily be the case, but it is a mentality, right? So the point about this thank you or thanks, okay, the point is when you try to use it, okay, next time when you use it, just try to say thank you to the universe itself, but just try to say thank you and bow, okay. It is a nice exercise to do, at least let's say once per day, anytime you want, anywhere you want. You just put your hands together and bow, okay. You may actually say thank you, okay, but don't think of anyone or anything specifically, okay. The moment you attribute it to something, you're making it something mental. When you're making it a mental, you're creating conditions, because the mind cannot simply exist without conditions. The mind functions exactly like code, and code must have some conditions to exist, because code means data, but that data cannot be used outside certain conditions that would allow data to be manipulated in a way or another. Just like you simply can't believe a certain thing without something, okay. It's either just a belief that you accept and there's still a condition that you have to accept it, or you have worked towards that and experienced that numerous times. So one can simply say, hey, you know what, you're technically having the proof to say, hey, this is actually true or false for me, right? So try to use this thank you, okay, in a as objective way as possible, because the moment you subjectify this, you're turning it into a habit. The point about a habit, and this could be a little problem, I could say, don't take this as something alarming though, okay. I really want to be as objective as possible. So take it like this: when you're doing something as of something you got used to, okay, the more you do that, the more unconscious you are. When you say thank you unconsciously, you're not truly authentic towards that, okay, because you're just thanking it because it became a habit. Once it becomes a habit, you're just like a robot, a machine. Something happens, boom, that's the condition, right? It's just like the traffic lights, right? The timer is up, boom, you change color because that's the only thing that you know. That's the code, right? When you turn something into a habit, many people are very comfortable with that because it gives you an impression that you're good at something. Your subconscious mind will always be good, will always be better than you, because it guides like 90 to 95% of your life anyways. So the more aware you become, you are taking some more responsibilities from your subconscious mind, but it's still gonna rule like 90% of your existence. Well, if people become truly enlightened, maybe 50%, I don't know exactly, but still, the subconscious mind is the code that executes things. I mean, you don't want to be just like a machine and like each and every second have to constantly think of all the little parts within you. I don't think you'd want to ever bother with having your heart beat, and probably you'll forget about that, or like telling each and every one of your cells what to do. They already know that. It's already subconscious for them, okay, because it's kind of their habit, okay. They are also experiencing life because they're doing whatever possible to experience life and to be, to feed themselves accordingly so that they can do the best possible thing. If your cells are happy, your body is happy, but it matters first what you eat and what you feed your body with, physically through food, mentally through what you see, hear, touch, again, psychologically, okay, emotionally, energetically, okay, because everything has an influence. And sooner or later you might end up with a lot of things in your head that you simply did not require, you simply did not need, just because a lot of the things that are in your mind don't simply belong to you. So try using this thank you for a while without attributing it to anything, or without sending it to someone specifically, because you see, this is nothing else than meaning, and meaning is nothing else than making something small or smaller, okay. Because when you say I am, I don't know, an electrician, you're just limiting yourself to being just that, when you can still be much more, okay. Technically you are life, you are part of creation. You also have a human body, which is the most intricate machine that exists on this planet. Now, it doesn't mean that we as humans know how to use it, but it has so much potential. Okay? So, being more grateful of things that you have in your life are actually a very good thing. Okay? It's uh, it's gonna serve you very well. It's gonna lead somewhat sooner or later towards a peace of mind. But the point about this again is when you say thank you, try being objective. The more subjective you are, in a way, you will tend to turn that into a you know you're gonna turn it into a habit. Okay. Now, again, repetition can end up into a habit, and it can be if you're doing something really objectively. Okay. So what I'm saying is more like focus on something and use it in such a way that you use it consciously, not unconsciously. Okay, because if you use it unconsciously, it's much easier to actually turn it into a habit, so therefore it's not going to serve you much, because when you say or do things as a habit, you're technically, you're not improving yourself a lot. You're just putting one extra responsibility on your subconscious mind, and I don't know if you ever want that. It's not that it won't handle it, but if you want to do something and feel good about it, you'd better do it consciously. Okay, all this being said, I want this to be a very short video, so I'm gonna wrap it in here. Take care of yourselves. You're loved and appreciated as usual, and well, whatever you're doing is the best you can at the right pace for you. So to avoid overburns, just don't overdo things. Take rest, take care of yourselves. Ferenc on board, signing out.